Hey y'all, this is Whitney, and welcome back to an episode of Spastic Chatter. If you didn't know, Spastic Chatter is a platform meant to feature those in the cerebral palsy community, and I get together with individuals with CP, like myself, to have an uncensored chat, if you will, about what it's like living with this type of disability. And I'm very excited because my guest this episode is Eva Abley, and she is my very first teen with CP on the show. And I came across a YouTube video of her audition for Britain's Got Talent, and she was hilarious, and I saw so much similarity between me and her, so I wanted to have her on the show, and we're gonna have some fun this episode. So I will let Eva introduce herself, and we will get on to the conversation. So take it away, Eva.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on the show. It means so much to me.
Awesome. So I kind of want to start from the beginning. Like, how did you get into like stand-up comedy? Like what? How did you get onto Britain's Got Talent? You wanna like talk about that process?
Yeah. So I didn't actually apply to go on BGT. I was invited on the show. So me and my family went on a holiday to Nukia, somewhere called the Monkey Tree. Whilst we were there at the time, there was a talent show going on. It was only a small talent show in front of about 15 people. But I went on stage whilst we were there, and my mum videoed me doing my telling some jokes on stage. I posted the video on my Instagram, and BGT producers saw the video, DM'd me and invited me onto the show.
That's very cool. So like when did you start like your whole like doing comedy? Like did you start it like when like at a very young age? What made you want to be a stand-up comedian?
So it never really something that has ever crossed my mind since BGT sent me the message. But I found over all my jokes that I tell in my script is things that frustrate me about having cerebral palsy. Me putting them in a jokey way makes me seem more positive about my disability.
That's awesome. That's how I am too. Like I'm very I started doing like jokes on like TikTok to like make my I feel like it makes like, and like it's funny, so like people can like see disability in a different way. Like it's not all woe is me. Like we're does that make sense?
Yeah, joking about being disabled normalizes it.
Yes, exactly. So you were actually I couldn't watch the whole BGT because I'm in the US, so I couldn't watch the whole thing. So but I followed your social media and things like that. You were actually a finalist of the show. Like, do you want to talk?
Yeah.
more about like the process, like you. Okay, so you auditioned, and then you got on the show. Like, what is the whole process look like?
So, you write the script for your audition, and then and then at home, I got a little audience, like my mum and dad, nan, granddad, uncle, aunties, and then me doing my audition script in front of them. And then you film it and send it off to the BGT, and then they then pick about 1,000 acts to come and audition. And then other auditions, then 5 people get the golden buzzer and 35 people get through to the semi-finals. And then after the semi-finals, you obviously have a new script, perform again, and then it's on every night of that week live, and 2 people go through to the finals. I was very lucky to make it to the finals, and obviously then the winner is announced. You become like one big family too when you're on BGT, so there wasn't really any competition.
That's very cool. So, like, I'm curious. Do you have a favorite, or I don't know, a favorite like joke or topic that you like to add in your skit? Is there like a go-to topic that you know that's gonna like make people laugh? And
yeah, so definitely joking about the Black Country. So the Black Country is I don't know if you heard of it, but it's a very famous place in England. But the accents are really hard to understand. Like my cerebral palsy voice is harder to understand, but I'm also Black Country.
that's funny. I saw I'm not familiar with the Black Country like you said, but I saw that you posted today something about is today like a celebration of something?
Yeah, so it's the Black Country Day. So today I've been at the festival, I've been on stage, and I've done 2 radios. I've also had an interview with Dad, which is the like weatherman on the news.
So you've had a very busy day.
Very busy, yeah. I literally only just walked in the door.
Oh man, well I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here with me. So I already made the time. So I have another question, because what you're actually wearing. Like, what can you like? Is the lips t-shirt like your signature? Is that your like signature shirt? Because I see you. I saw that you wore it like every episode, and like it's all of your social media. So is that like your signature shirt, or like your signature brand?
So last year I ran my own tie-dye business, and this lady called Gina Potter, who makes these t-shirts, really promoted my business on her account. So when I heard about BGT, I wanted to say thank you to her and for all the publicity she has gave me on Instagram. So to say thank you, I thought that I would give her a bit of a publicity wearing the Lips t-shirts, but they are my favourite t-shirts ever.
Awesome.
I think I've about 20 of them.
Well, they're very like cool looking and like, yeah, I would. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're very like hip, I guess you would say. And I have like one or two more questions for you. Let me. I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, there it is. So how has coming off the show, like, what is the response been from like your followers, like social media has, like, how has BGT impacted your life coming off the show?
Oh my God, it has been amazing. I have had a really tough time at school. So I started to homeschool last year and I felt very lonely. I didn't have any friends. And so BGT has made, like, for no one wanted to know me, to everyone wanting to know me, and it just feels great.
That's awesome. So BGT kind of like gave you a support system, like of millions of people almost, like here I am in the States, and like we connected, like it's giving you a chance to meet like millions of people probably. That's awesome.
Yeah, what's really nice about BGT also is I find that people cut me off short because they don't have time to let me get my words out to speak. So to be able to have that 10 minutes where I can just have as much time as to speak and people will actually sit down and listen to me and give me a chance was amazing.
That's very cool, and like that's like, I love that you brought that up, especially on the podcast related to cerebral palsy, because the one thing that one thing that I can relate to you on is that my voice, like, I really struggle with my voice, and like I'm my own worst self critic, because it takes me longer to talk, and when I talk, it looks like I'm straining to talk, and like people have asked me, like, they've stopped me like mid-sentence, and they're like, "Are you okay? Like, are you good?" And I'm like, I stopped talking. I'm like, what are you talking? Like, what are you talking about? I'm fine. Like, I'm smiling. It just looks like I guess it just looks like I'm in pain. So like opening myself up to like this platform, like starting a podcast, it's really like it's open. I believe that it's opened people's eyes in a sense, like it's kind of normalized.
One of the things I do homeschooling is I visit primary schools and I made a PowerPoint and I do a big talk about disabilities and like about cerebral palsy and that everyone's normal and that we're normal and to equals spread the kindness. So I go around the school spreading kindness as well as making awareness about having cerebral palsy, because I think if it's taught from a younger age what it is, more people will grow up and accept it because they're normalized to it.
That's awesome. I like how you like you were talking about how you became homeschooled, but then you turned it around to go into schools and educate like kindness and things like that. And I agree with you that the younger the age that kids are taught about disabilities, like it's more accepting. Like because honestly, when I talk to kids, like they might ask me one question and then I answer it and then like they just go on about their day about their day like I'm like it's just normal. They were curious and I answered their question and then they saw that I was just a regular person per se, and then it's like they have and then we just go on about what we're doing. So I completely agree that the younger the age, the better when teaching about disabilities. My last question for you, and I always ask, is do you have any advice for those that are watching that may want to get into a comedy or like are struggling with like self-acceptance or any kind of life advice in general?
Just it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, as long as you're being kind and you're enjoying yourself, just go for it. At the end of the day, all someone can say to you is no, so give everything a go.
Awesome. I say that too. I'm like the worst. As long as you risk it, the worst, and you ask, the worst that can happen is they tell you no. Like that's so. I completely relate to that advice. Well, Eva, it was nice talking to you, and thanks for taking the time to sit down and do an episode of Spastic Chatter. If you're watching this, if you're watching this and you want to be on an episode, feel free to reach out, and I would love to have you as a guest. I forgot to ask Eva, where can people follow you on social media?
So I got my Instagram, which is Eva_Abley. I got my Facebook page, which is just Eva Abley, and also I got my TikTok, which is also Eva Abley.
Awesome. I will put that in the description. And again, it was nice talking to you. And so check back for another episode of Spastic Chatter, and I will talk to everyone later. Thanks. Bye.